Indiana here. Today we're going to talk about Ferrocerium, so stay tuned. Hey, today we're going to talk about Ferrocerium, and I've got several different types of Ferrocerium here, different variety configurations, from the nice lanyard 5/16 I believe by 3. It's a good size, decent, good enough. And then we got the UST Ferrocerium rod and striker in its own waterproof container. Then we have the old military type survival ferrocerium and magnesium bar. With the small hacksaw blade, which gives it more strike and gives it more peeling power for the magnesium. And then we have our modern flint, which is in lighters. It's not flint. Lighters aren't made with flint anymore. They're made with ferrocerium, which is a mesh metal containing, here's the ingredients, but containing iron, cerium, and magnesium are 3 main ingredients that you'll understand or you'll know. It's just to strike off sparks. You can tell that silver line I just struck off, that is a coating, because this will oxidize very fast, very quick. So you have to scrape off maybe a couple areas. See that little tiny spark? Then you'll get that good spark off of there. And that's what the metal, the ferrocerium, looks like. Looks kind of like aluminum. It's very bright. I'll just use my light my fire. You get the one I already struck off, because I don't want to scrape all that off all the way around. I just want to scrape off what I can use, just enough to get down to that ferrocerium. I don't want to oxidize this and ruin it in the weather. There's 3 different types of techniques. You can strike a ferro rod. There's the what they call the spray and pray method, which is just aim it at the pile and fire. Now that works decent in some aspects, in some situations, but for those tough jobs, you know, there's other techniques you want to use for that. There's the pin and pull, which I'm not big on. I don't like fumbling my tinder, but here's that. Just pin the tinder down. Strike it like that. It's not getting it good, and it's not pinning it down very well either. It might work in certain bird nests. But you're limiting your oxygen too, because you're pushing down and covering your fire. Not only that, you're pushing your tinder all over the place. You can get something like this real quick. It's just easier just to spray and pray. There's also hold and pull, or pin and pull. which works all right. Depends on what you're doing, what you're dealing with for a tinder, on what technique you want to use to how to strike that ferrocerium. Okay. First thing I'm going to use is a Bic. Second thing I'm going to use is a nice sized ferrocerium rod. I'm also going to try to use char cloth with that because it strikes so easy, and the char cloth ember is so easy, just charred jeans. So it does strike very well. If you happen to ever drop a pair of jeans in a fire or have your jeans caught on fire, they're almost impossible to put out. You can stomp and stomp and stomp, and that little bit of amber left on there still will it'll light it back up again. So that's why I love the ferrocerium and the char cloth combination. And then we have the UST, which is bought from Walmart. Comes in a little container here, which is nice because of the oxidization that can occur with the ferrocerium. And then a lanyard, but it does have its own striker. Again, the coating, and there we go. Decent spark. It's a short ferro rod. It's another good emergency, but not going to be my prime. Alright, I'm going to pack that away probably in my cooking container or my cook pot. It's in my rucksack, and just forget about it. Then of course, like I showed you earlier, the ferrocerium that comes out of lighters, big lighters. I don't know if you can do a whole lot. I don't see doing a whole lot with those as far as engineering some kind of multiple cluster of them and try to strike that with a ferro rod. I don't see that happening, because even this little ferro rod, these two little ferro rods here, which are much bigger, don't compare. They don't compare to this nice big ferro rod. And I actually want to get a couple of 1/2 inch, 6 inch ferro rods. They're much bigger than these, but these are perfect. I've got 5 here, and I'll put one. I'll keep 2 for Ferrocerium survival, and I'll put 1 in my bug out bag, 1 in my EDC, and 1 in my inch bag. So there we go. And I've got 2 for the channel. So I'll use these in the future. I'll put this, like I said, in my cook pot. And this right here, I'm going to keep as an emergency in my EDC. Okay. But this is going to be my #1. Besides the Zippo, the Bic, the regular lighters, this is going to be it right here. This and char cloth. It's an amazing space age material, a mesh metal that, you know, yeah, it has its weaknesses, but it has lots of good strengths. So we'll be doing some more ferro rod videos in the future. So stay tuned. All right, I want to show you up close what this ferro rod will do. Got some real fine birch bark here, and I'll just process it by tearing it up just a little bit. Doesn't need a whole lot. And of course, I'm going to get some wood and get my pre-fire items started. So let me show you up close how this ferro rod works. This is just birch bark. There we go. Usually takes a couple strikes. When you strike that ferro rod,
what happens is it scrapes off some of the ferrocerium off the bar and some of the knife or steel from the striker, and it creates a molten ember. This goes to about 3,000 degrees Celsius or about 5,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Instantly starts to cool down, but while it's hot like that, like a spark, it'll get that fire going. And that's working out great. Just like that, we got a nice fire. Well guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscription button, notification bell, like, and leave a question or comment at the bottom.